Hi everybody and welcome to Unit 5, Sell from Stock. In this unit we will cover the outbound side of the logistics process. Here we will focus on the order-to-cash business scenario represented on the lower part with the variant Sell from Stock that relates to inventory managed products which have to be shipped to the customer. It comprises the sales quotes, the sales order creation, goods issue processing in the warehouse, and it completes the process with customer invoicing. So let's start with the quotes. The sales quote processing is used to offer products to customers. The sales quote is usually created by a sales representative. The system automatically determines prices and discounts based on price lists. The sales reps can override the proposed price and they can add further discount or surcharges such as freight costs. Sales quotes are usually valid and binding until a specific date. If the calculated net value of the sales quote exceeds a threshold maintained in the business configuration, the system creates an approval task for the sales manager. Another very helpful functionality for the sales representative is the possibility to check the availability, which indicates instantly if the products are available or not. But there is no quantity allocation of the product for sales quotes. The allocation will be done if the product is ordered by the customer. The customer can order with the reference to the quote and its price, or they can also directly order the product based on the price list or contract. Here I will focus on the supply chain aspects with respect to the sales order. So one essential information in the sales order is of course the products and its quantities. Another essential information is the requested delivery date at which the customer expects the goods at their location. Then SAP Business Bydesign offers two options: complete delivery and delivery rules to determine how many deliveries are allowed, for example, to limit the logistics costs. Complete delivery ensures that the customer gets all the products of one sales order together on the same date, with only one delivery. With the delivery rules, you can also set a limitation on the number of deliveries on the sales order item level. It can be restricted to only one delivery per line item, for example, for the complete quantity in time. Obviously, the customer specifies the ship-to address. With this information, the system proposes the ship-from location and the confirmed date and quantity using the available-to-promise functionality. I will give more background information on the available-to-promise functionality in the deep dive unit. A couple of days before the sales order items are due for shipment, the sales orders can be released to the logistics execution where they show up as delivery proposals. After the release, execution-relevant changes on the sales order items are pretty much limited. This step is usually automated. Now let's continue in the logistics execution with the goods issue processing and outbound delivery creation. Since the outbound process is modeled in a similar way as the inbound, I will keep the logistic model section short and concentrate only on the differences. For the goods issue processing, there are three different logistics model types available. First, the standard shipping. This type covers delivery processes for sales orders, stock transfer orders, pre-delivery of spare parts, and intercompany sales. Then there is the goods return shipping. The model takes care of the process of returning products to suppliers. And last, when we have pickup shipping. This is used for service engineer who picks up the goods personally so that no external shipment is needed. The process will be shown in detail in week 4. The outbound logistics models can consist of one or two steps, respectively pick only or pick and load. In contrast to inbound, the logistic use from the logistic model contributes to determine, most importantly, the source logistic area where the products are picked from. With the release of the outbound delivery, the goods issue is posted. In the logistics model, you can control if the outbound delivery is automatically released. Also for the goods issue process, we prepared 3 examples on process use case. The first use case shows the minimum steps to perform the goods issue. You initiate it directly from the delivery proposals list without tasks. The system creates the corresponding outbound delivery document. In the second use case, a warehouse manager uses the delivery proposals list showing the due shipment items for the next days to initiate the picking task for warehouse execution. The warehouse workers execute and confirm the picking. With that, the outbound delivery is released, the delivery note is printed, and the goods issue is posted. The third use case shows the most advanced process. Also here, the process starts with release the delivery proposals due, but without direct task creation. This allows the warehouse manager to better control task execution, for example, to release warehouse requests with a lot of items first. After picking and putting goods in the shipping staging, the load task is created. When truck is loaded and task is confirmed, the outbound delivery is created. Packaging information can be added before the release of the outbound delivery. The packaging information for one or more products can be represented in a single level, like boxes, or nested in a hierarchy, like boxes on pallets. Then, with the release of the outbound delivery, the delivery note is printed and goods issue is posted. In addition, several outbound deliveries can be grouped into a freight list. It holds contract information with the freight forwarder about weight, ship from and ship to addresses, Incoterms, license plate of the truck, and eventually declared value and sales. For printing, you can use the VICS bill of lading for North America or the CMR label elsewhere. For the products we have delivered to the customer, obviously, we would like to get the payment. That's why we have to create the invoice to the customer. The invoice process starts with the invoice request, which are based on the delivered goods. You could create invoices manually, or you could create them regularly with the automated invoice runs. Of course, it's possible to combine multiple invoice requests into one invoice. There are several fixed criteria that do not allow a merge of invoice requests, such as the payer account, bill to party, or the currency and payment terms, just to mention some. Additionally, there are user-defined split criteria, such as the invoice per outbound delivery or the invoice per delivery date. Now let's have a look in the system how the sell from stock process works. So I will show you now the second use case and the respective steps for this. So obviously the process starts with a sales order, and I will create it. I will create it from here. And I maintain first the account, also known as customer. And I get the address proposed. And it's also possible to change the ship to address here. Usually I get an external reference from the customer representing their purchase order. I maintain here one number, and then I will override the requested date because the customer requests the delivery for tomorrow. More below, I will maintain the product that they are ordering, and we are using the product that we used also in the other units. The customer will order a quantity of 5. And we immediately see that we get a status on the available to promise check. So if I put the mouse over here, we see that it is only a late delivery possible, and the proposed earliest delivery date is on Saturday, meaning 1 day later than expected. This comes due to the fact that we have 1 day of shipping duration and 8 hours of goods issue processing time. This ATP check could also return a green light. That means the quantity and dates which were requested are met. Or it could come up with a red indication here. That means that there is no availability at all, or the delivery rules are violated. Also, what is proposed is the price, and in our case it's the list price that comes into place. It could also be determined by a contract. On the lower part here we have some of the values I talked earlier. It's delivery priority, which can be selected, and the complete delivery indication. And for the delivery rules, I will go to the item view. And I see here in the details area of the items view that the delivery rule can be specified here. So it's standard, in the standard it's set to multiple deliveries, but it also can be set to single delivery full quantity. That means there will be only 1 delivery with the full quantity at any time, independent of the time. A bit below you also find the ship from location and ship from address. This is coming from the determination Stefan introduced in the first unit. So now I will submit and send the order confirmation to the account. And it indicates immediately that the sales order 3082 was saved successfully. So now I would like to inform the warehouse immediately that there is a pending sales order to be delivered. So I do that here with the delivery due list. We have our order here, and also we can see the execution start times and shipment dates for a reference. This step is usually automated from most of our customers. So the next step is that the warehouse manager gets informed, and the warehouse manager works on the delivery proposals list. So here we see we have the sales order here as a reference available, and from here we could initiate the goods issue without task, which is referring to use case 1 in the slides. Or what we will do, we will create warehouse requests, and as I set up the system, it will immediately create the tasks out of it. So I will do so. So, and now the work is with the warehouse worker. So also they would use the execution work center, in this case here, for the outbound warehouse tasks. And we should find here our pick task for that. This is referring to the sales order we just created. And also here, the workers would usually work with either a mobile device or the automated printed out task lists. So I also will show it how this looks like for the outbound case. And basically the difference is that here the source logistic area is automatically determined where the product and the quantity should be picked from. And of course we have the product information and the quantity information here. So once the worker has done the picking and stored stored the goods for shipment, then he also can use the confirm button in case of deviations. But in our case, we confirm it as planned, since we don't have any deviations on what should have been done. So I confirm that, and immediately the outbound delivery will be created and released. The outbound the delivery note will be printed and the goods issue will be posted. So here below we see the outbound delivery 368 was created, and let's have a look at it. So I go to the outbound logistics and outbound deliveries view, and we see it here. So if I edit it, I can check in the output history that the delivery note was in this case printed, and the delivery note would look like this. Of course, you have the possibility to change and adapt the layout. So this outbound delivery will also refer is an input for the customer invoicing. So that's why I will go to the customer invoicing area here, to the invoice requests views, and this will show me all the invoices and deliveries that the invoice requests, meaning the outbound deliveries that are pending to be invoiced. If I have a list here, I could select a couple of those and initiate a combined invoice here with the Invoice Advanced button. In our case, we only have one, so I continue with the single invoice creation. So here the information also from the sales order is collected, and the price is derived, and we have the quantity from the outbound delivery here. So with the release, we will hand it over then to finance. And this closes the sell from stock process. So now I go back to the slides. And I'm just left with the summary for this unit. We had a look at the sales quotes and the supply chain aspects in the sales orders. Then we saw the different simple or more advanced ways to process logistics execution in the warehouse, including outbound delivery processing. And finally, we learned the different ways to create customer invoices, This is the end of the unit. I will see you in Unit 6, our last unit for this week. Goodbye.